Alright, here we go, guys. Wildebeest garage. Today we're going to replace the injectors on this Cummins. The only thing that's wrong with it is every now and then we get a misfire and it just rolls smoke out the exhaust. We kind of rolled it down to where the injectors need to be replaced, and while we're at it, we're just going to replace the injectors and step them up a little bit. So let's have at it. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Wildebeest Garage.
Alright, so we're going to start off by taking this cover. This pretty much covers there's a crankcase filter underneath. Then we'll put the cover back on, or this cap back on, so we don't throw something in there. Here's your crankcase cover, or your crankcase filter. Take those off. Reach into here. To have a ratchet. Alright, make sure that all these are loose. Pull your valve cover off. Alright, you're going to see these connectors right here. Go ahead and pull those out. Okay. Now we're going to have to take the intake tube off to get to this. Well, maybe not. Yeah, we will. Alright, to get to these lines right here, we'll have to take those off. Or take the intake horn off to get to these tubes. Let's get extension. Now, if you've seen my videos before, you know that I like to put the bolt back in the hole when I know I can. Let's get an 11 millimeter will be for this charge air cooler tube. wiggle this clamp. Use a 10mm on the back side. That holds your harness and your wires together to your toaster. Here's your intake tube. See? Look at that. For a truck that has 412 miles, it's running pretty good. Sorry, I mean a truck that has 412,000 miles. It's actually in pretty good shape. No blow by. This grid heater, usually if it's got blow by, this grid heater's got some kind of garbage going to it. Usually the turbo's leaking, something like that. But it's actually really clean inside. Alright, so we're going to start cracking these lines loose. Okay, get your 19mm wrench. Holy jeez. Oh, helped to go the right way. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. I don't know the backstory of this truck. I know a little bit, but not too much. But from what I see, looking through the valve cover and everything like that, this is a pretty healthy truck for being 412,000 miles on it. Obviously the injectors went out. The turbo's going out, which might do an episode of the turbo next time. There we go. Now this truck hasn't been running for a couple days, just so we don't get any fuel spraying. Make sure you don't pull too hard on these lines because you can break them. I know on some vehicles it's recommended to replace these, like on your Fords and your Chevys. not too sure about the dodges, so we're gonna opt not to replace them at the moment. Oh, jeez. All right. So there's these blue holders. Blue, purple, I don't know, I'm colorblind. We're going to take off. So I like to keep the holders on the fuel line that you take off, and then just ratchet that down just a little bit so it kind of just holds the line exactly where you had it last time. line. So what we're gonna do is there's these little bolts, nuts. I don't know what you want to call them. They're kind of like bolts, but they're also nuts. We're gonna pull these out one at a time. Now these are what feed the injectors through here, which I don't know what the actual name of it is, but they almost look like needles. I'll show you here in a little bit. Yeah, so these are what I was talking about. Oh, there's Mr. Olson again. Alright, Mr. Olson stopped by and I had to talk to him, but while we were talking, you know, about cars, girls, and broken hearts, I decided to take these the harness off the injectors. Did that. Obviously you saw me take this nut off, pull the injector or the needle out. Like I said, this is a needle, so I don't know what the official term is for it. Injector tube, something, I don't know. Now that goes straight into your injectors, and it basically comes across here and goes into there. Now we're gonna take this 8mm. Oh man. Wait for the helicopter to pass. Good old Apache helicopter. Alright, here we go. So now I'm gonna have to run the rack because this rocker is in the way on all of them. So I'm gonna just show you guys how to do one injector, and then I'm gonna do the rest of them. Just so we don't get stuff mixed up in what we're doing. Oh man, that's a... Thought I grabbed the right socket, but I didn't. Now obviously when you run the rack and everything like that, or measure the valve rockers for valve lash, you're gonna want to do that when the cylinders are at top dead center. Okay, we'll take these, put them off to the side, and then we'll take our injectors, little wiggle, little pull, little wiggle and pull. She's not coming. Get a little persuader. Now I pushed this way as I was prying. You don't smoke it to California, but you give it enough pry to give it a little bit of motivation. You gotta be gentle. Okay, just kind of wiggle that out, and here's our injector. Now a good injector will actually have these spots clean. This one looks like it's been not running so good. So there we have it. That tube that I had, this tube right here, sits inside here like this. And when you tighten it up, it'll actually press into this injector, sealing it off. Because this is super high PSI, it's like 3000 PSI. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a long time since I've worked on or done injectors or even troubleshot injectors. Yeah, so we're gonna do that, and then let me go get the injectors. Alright, so here we have it. We got the old ones versus the new ones. We're gonna drop the new ones in. The O-ring's already lubed, which is good. Hold up. They're clocked wrong. Does that make a difference? Look at this. So there's the holes, right? Everything else looks good except for the brackets. I wonder. Oh, I'm an idiot. It turns. Does this one turn? No. So why is this turn? So let's see here. Is it supposed to turn? I don't think it is. Oh, that's gonna throw me off so bad. Why is that like that? Oh, that keeper. Okay. I think we could deal with that. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Sorry, guys. Even I'm an idiot. So basically what goes on is this keeper right here stops it from spinning. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this in here like this. Alright, our little brass washer down there fell. The brass washer is this right here. basically need to put that back on. Just gotta get this keeper lined up like that, and then we'll line that up with that right there. What was that? Oh, push rod. That scared me for a minute, guys. Alright, then we're going to take these bolts and we're just going to slowly draw that down. Maybe. Maybe not. Too short. There we go. A little bit of muscle. We'll put these on. Now here's your tube. Now there's a notch in here. Pretty sure the notch goes up. This notch right here goes up. Put that nut back on. And you just kind of hand tight for right now. And let's get some torque specs. Alright, we're gonna just basically snug these down. You gotta do it evenly. Okay. Now this nut right here is 37 foot-pounds. Okay, 37 foot-pounds. just like that. We'll do it again just to, okay. Now we're gonna do these at 89. "89 inch-pounds. Okay, 89 inch-pounds. We'll just go little increments at a time. Until we get to 89. Okay, just like that, guys. And then actually I'll leave the harness off. I'll go ahead and do all the other ones. Alright guys, I'm just gonna do everything, and we'll see if I can fast forward this to make it a little bit more entertaining, but you guys get the gist. So you just work your way all the way back down. Like I say, I'm gonna leave this rocker off, but what I'll do so that I don't get it mixed up, I'll just put this back in here like this. Just kind of tighten up the nut or the bolt. But I'm gonna leave this undone so that I know, hey, stupid, measure valve flash over here. Battery's about to die, so I'm gonna make this real quick. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do all this, and I'll get back to you guys later, probably tomorrow, because it's kind of dark outside. So other than that, let's get to it. Alright guys, looks like the wind's died down. I was out here buttoning everything up. So I put the fuel lines on, the high pressure fuel lines, the connectors, got everything done. I actually ran the rack and everything. If you don't know what that is, pretty much you just take the feeler gauge right here, put them underneath there. You're going to tighten up this jam nut right here. For a Dodge Cummins, it's 10 on the intake and 20 on the exhaust. So you're just gonna go until you get some resistance. You don't want to have too much resistance, but you don't want to have not enough as resistance. So we did that. Put all that in. Yeah, like I say, it's kind of the wind's died down just a little bit, so now I can actually, record and tell you guys what's going on. So now we're at the point where we're gonna fire it up. We're gonna do a little kick the tires and light the fire, and we'll see if it cranks over. Now, before you go and crank it over and stuff, you're gonna want to keep these nuts loose on the line, because you want to purge out all the air, as much air as you can, before you go and crank it over. Some guys will actually crank it over and have somebody cranking it while they're loosening it up. I don't like doing that method. I like leaving them loose a little bit, and I'll just crank it over until I start seeing fuel come out the bottom. Yeah, do that, and I just tightened up the jam nuts, put the injector harness back on, put the air horn on. We're not running a turbo. This boot right here is disconnected. So, here we go. Fingers crossed. Great, doesn't it? That's what I like to hear. Alright, let's shut her off and let's put the belt cover on. Okay, one thing you will notice, if you do have air in the system or air in the injectors, you'll start misfiring. This case, everything was good, everything ran good. Yeah, I'm gonna just start putting the valve cover on, and we'll go from there. You'll just want to start these off by hand for now. Alright, valve cover is going to be 89 inch-pounds. Go ahead and torque these down. Just like that. cover's torqued. Okay, I was forgetting to put this on. And then the little isolator. Now this bracket right here, you're going to want to get as tight as you can. Alright. This isolator bracket goes right on that line. Guys, doing something like this is actually pretty easy. Just takes a lot of time. Alright, let's grab the next ones. Sometimes you just gotta have enough determination followed by stubbornness with a little bit of you ain't gonna beat me mentality, and you too can do something like this. It's actually pretty easy. Really hope that you guys like these kind of series of repairs. I like doing them. The only thing is really don't have a whole lot that you guys are coming across. So if you have anything, definitely let me know. I like to try to share my knowledge as much as I can with all of you. Make it so that it's easier for you guys to get out here and, you know, do something. close that in. Put this bolt in and make sure that it's lined up. I would get you guys in here, but this is such a tight area that I can't really do a whole lot. So I'd sit here and watch me struggle. It's alright, we'll struggle together. Okay. 2 more. All right. I think we have it. Put this back on. Okay. Now let me clean up and we'll go for a test drive, guys. All right, here we go, guys. Test drive. See if this thing will rip. Normally it only, let's get my seatbelt on so you guys don't hear that dinging all the time. So normally it'll only start hiccuping and misfiring and stuff like that when it gets warm. But for what it is, let's clear this check engine light. This check engine light is on because I was cranking it without it starting. So the computer was just like, what the crap is going on? See, as you can see, all the fault codes. Sorry, didn't mean to whack ya. there's not a whole lot of black smoke, which is what I like to see. I think you build more power, torque, and everything like that with very little black smoke. I mean, you'll have some, but if you're over fueling, you'll have a bunch of black smoke, but you're not going anywhere. You want all that fuel to be combusted. Climbs like a racehorse. Good old white stallion. See if we can get, let's get boost. See what we go on boost. So let's stop right here. Pull over. Right there, like that. There we go. Alright, now don't fall asleep on me, guys. Come on. So let's go to our data. We got the trusty scan tool here. Boost. So right now we're at 28. See what this thing can do. This isn't power braking, this is nothing, this is just straight pedal to the metal. There's a different. There we go. 14 psi of boost. We just hit 45 psi. Let's see if we can power brake it. think that's gonna call it a win. I might just drive this around and beat the crud out of it and see if we can get that misfire to come back. If we get that misfire to come back, then well, I guess I diagnosed it wrong. Most likely, yes. But don't know until we try it. We get it jacked up again. So, if you guys like this stuff, please like, comment, subscribe. If you guys have anything else you want me to work on, or do, or whatever, please let me know. Bleep bloop it down in the comments, and we're gonna call this a win. So, if you guys like this stuff, I try to post on Instagram, I try to post on Facebook, and I have a little Patreon channel, so if you guys want to go over there and do a little donate, go ahead. Other than that, like I always say, get out there and do something. Doesn't matter what it is, just get out there and do something. Try it. So, have a good night, and thank you for watching.
Get out there and do something. It doesn't matter what it is. Just get out there and do something.